The spaceship landed with a low hum. No one paid much attention. On the alien planet of Zeltron, students from many worlds came to study at the great university. They came from cold stars, fire planets, ice moons, and gas giants. But today, someone came from a place no one ever thought they would allow. Earth. Earth was known as a death world. It was not called that as a joke, it was true. Everything on Earth was dangerous. The air changed moods, the oceans had monsters, the land shook, burned, and flooded. Animals could kill with teeth, poison, or just a look. Even plants could eat meat. But worse than all of that were humans. They had survived it all. So when a small human girl walked into the classroom, everyone stared. She looked weak. Small arms, soft face, quiet eyes. She didn't growl or hiss. She didn't wear armor. She just walked in with a calm face and sat, down in the back. Her name tag said Rin, Earth. Some students giggled, others whispered. One alien said, "That thing is a human? That's just a child." Another laughed. "Maybe the real human is invisible, and she's just the pet." The professor came in late, as usual. His name was Professor Throck. He was large, almost 3 meters tall. His skin was gray and hard like rock. He came from the war world Corvan, where children fought each other to earn food. He had crushed bones in battles. He had once stopped a charging beast with one punch. To him, strength was everything. He looked around and saw the new student. "Ah," he said, his voice loud and deep. "The little creature from Earth." Everyone laughed, but Rin said nothing. She just looked at him. Calm, quiet, unshaken. Throck walked to her desk. "I've heard stories about your kind," he said. "I don't believe them. You look soft, like pudding." The class chuckled again. Rin blinked. "You're standing too close," she said. Throck grinned. "And what will you do about it, human?" She didn't answer. She didn't even move. Suddenly there was a loud crack, a horrible sound, like stone snapping. Then, Throck screamed. His massive body fell to one knee. He grabbed his arm, his face full of pain. His right forearm hung loosely, bent the wrong way. Silence filled the room. No one had seen her move. No one had seen anything at all. She was still sitting, still calm, still quiet. The professor looked at her, eyes wide, breathing heavy. "What did you do?" "I warned you," she said. "You were too close." The classroom didn't move. Some students looked at each other, mouths open. A few leaned back in their chairs, as if she might do the same thing to them. Medical bots rushed in. They scanned Throck, lifted him up, and rolled him away. One bot spoke in a clear voice. "Compound fracture, clean break, internal tissue damage. Unusual force type detected." Still, no one spoke. Finally, one alien student asked, "Did anyone see her move?" Another replied, "No. I blinked and it just happened." A third whispered, "Maybe it's a trick. Maybe humans use tech." But the scanner had already checked her. No weapons, no machines. Just her. Rin stood up at last. She walked to the front, picked up the fallen data tablet the professor had dropped and gently placed it on the desk. Then she turned and looked at the class. "You think Earth made us strong," she said. "But you're wrong. It didn't make us strong. It made us careful. It made us quiet. It made us patient." She paused. "It taught us not to fight unless we have to. But when we do, we finish it fast." Then she walked back to her seat and sat down. The class stayed quiet for the rest of the session. When the bell rang, no one got up quickly. No one pushed or made noise. Rin was the last to leave. As she passed the door, a small alien, a student from the moon of Vera, followed her. He looked nervous but curious. Hello?" he said. "My name is Zrak." She turned and looked at him. "I just wanted to say, that was amazing." Rin smiled for the first time. "Thanks," she said. You're not afraid? He paused, terrified but also interested. She laughed. A soft laugh, the kind that made Zrak a little less afraid. Good, she said. Maybe you'll understand someday. As she walked away, Zrak looked back at the classroom, the place where a legendary warrior had screamed in pain, where nothing had moved, but something had happened. A girl from a death world had arrived. And now nothing would be the same again, and no one would forget what they saw that day, even though they didn't see anything at all. The video spread across the university by nightfall. It wasn't a fancy recording. It was shaky and short, but it showed enough. A big alien professor leaning too close, a human girl saying a few quiet words, and then, snap. The sound of a bone breaking, the scream, the silence that followed. Every student on Zeltron watched it at least twice. Some said it was fake. Others said it had to be a trick. A few started to believe the old stories about humans. Rin didn't talk much after that. She came to class, listened, took notes, and left. No one dared to sit near her. Even the loud ones stayed quiet when she passed, but one student didn't keep away. Zrak followed her again, the same small alien from Vera. He wasn't very strong or very smart, but he was curious. He found her sitting alone in the study garden. Strange birds flew above them. Purple grass moved gently in the warm wind. "Hi," Zrak said. She looked up. "Hi again." He sat down, leaving space between them. "So, about the professor." "He was warned," she said. Zrak nodded quickly. Yes, I agree, totally his fault. I want to understand. How did you do it?" Rin didn't answer at first. She pulled out a small snack, dried meat from Earth, and bit into it slowly. "You ever fight a jaguar?" she asked. Zrak blinked. "What's a jaguar?" "A cat," she said. "Big, strong, fast. If you scream, it bites your throat. If you run, it chases you. If you freeze, it watches. You need to move at the right time. Just one move. No mistakes." Zrak was silent. Rin looked at the alien tree above her. "That's just one animal. We have thousands like that. Poison frogs, fire ants, crocodiles, spiders the size of your head, snakes that swallow deer whole." Zrak's eyes grew wider with every word. "And it's not just animals," she continued. "Storms, earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, cold that kills in minutes, heat that boils your blood, fungi that eat your brain." "But," Zrak said, trying to understand, how do you survive?" "We learn," she said. "We adapt. We move fast. We think faster." Zrak looked down at his hands. His people had technology. Machines did most of the work. Even their fights were done with drones and safe suits. Humans, he realized, had no choice but to be strong, or die. "Were you trained?" he asked. "In some kind of military school?" She smiled. "No, that's just basic life for us." Zrak looked at her with new eyes. She didn't look like a soldier. She looked normal, quiet, soft-spoken. But now he understood something scary. She didn't need to fight. Her instincts were already perfect. Zrak decided to research Earth that night. He logged into the school database and pulled up records. Many were locked, but some were open. He found news reports from Earth. A 10-year-old girl who saved her brother from a bear attack, with a rock. A boy who held onto a tree for 2 days during a flood. A family who made fire in a snowstorm with nothing but ice and sunlight. Then he found a research paper, Human Neural Response to Danger. It said humans process threats faster than most species, that their muscles work harder under stress, that pain can be ignored by their minds. He didn't sleep that night. The next day in class, Rin entered quietly as usual. The new professor didn't make jokes. He stayed behind his desk. During break, a large alien named Crag approached her. His species was known for being proud and physical. He stood tall in front of her. "I don't believe in tricks," he said. "What you did to Throck, It won't work on me. Rin looked up slowly. I don't want to hurt anyone. Crag smirked. Good. Then don't get in my way. He turned and left. Zrak leaned close and whispered, You okay? Rin shrugged. He'll try something soon. Zrak didn't like the sound of that. Later that week it happened. Rin walked into the training dome, used for physical education. Crag was waiting. So were a few other students. We want to see what the human can do, Crag said loudly. No tricks. Just a simple push. If I move, you win. If you move, I win. Rin didn't reply. She walked forward, stood still, and waited. Crag placed both hands on her shoulders. The other students watched. He pushed. Nothing happened. He pushed harder. Still nothing. Then she moved. Just one small twist of her body. Crag's foot slipped. He fell to the floor hard, face first. The room went silent. Rin didn't speak. She walked away calmly. Zrak shook his head. She didn't even push him. A tall student said softly, She used his own strength against him. That was art. From that day on, no one challenged her again. But now, more students became curious. What was Earth really like? What were humans really capable of? And the bigger question, if she's just a student, what are the human warriors like? The galaxy was watching and it was getting nervous. The university leaders were not happy. Professor Throck was still in the healing chambers. His broken arm would take 2 more weeks to fully recover. Crag, the pride of his planet, refused to leave his room. He told others he slipped, but everyone knew the truth. He had been beaten without being touched. Too many eyes were now focused on one student, Rin, the girl from Earth. They needed answers. Was she dangerous? A threat? Or just an accident waiting to happen? The High Council of Education called a meeting. They argued for hours. Finally, they decided on a plan. Let the girl prove herself in the open. No tricks, no mystery. We'll test her in the arena. The next day, a message appeared on Rin's datapad. Student Rin of Earth. You have been selected for the Universal Assessment Trial. All species are tested. You will complete it tomorrow at 0900 hours. She read the message and closed the screen. Zrak found her outside in the sun, sitting on a bench. You saw the message? He asked. Yes, she said. They want to see what you can do. I know. Zrak looked nervous. This test is dangerous. Even trained students get hurt. Why are they making you do it now? They're scared, she said calmly. They don't understand me, so they want to control me. Zrak looked down. Are you going to be okay? Rin smiled. I've done harder things on a normal Tuesday back home. The arena was huge. It had many levels, machines, puzzles, traps, and beast cages. Every student at the university had to pass the trial before graduating, but no first-year student had ever been asked to do it early. This was not a fair test. Crowds filled the seats. Alien students from dozens of worlds came to watch. Some wanted to see her fail. Others wanted to see something amazing. The sky above was open, and the sun shone bright as the voice spoke. Student, Rin of Earth, your trial begins now. The first gate opened. From it came a creature with 6 legs and glowing red eyes, a Vratak beast. It moved fast and hit hard. It had thick skin and sharp claws. The crowd gasped. Rin didn't move. The beast charged. Still, she stood still. At the last second, she turned to the side. The beast missed and smashed into the wall. It roared, confused. She stepped to the left. It charged again. She ducked under its legs, grabbed a loose chain on the ground, pulled. The beast tripped, slammed into a post, went still, one down. The crowd was silent. The second gate opened. This time, fire came out. The floor lit up in patches, random bursts of heat and flame. The goal was to reach the other side before the floor burned you alive. Rin looked at the pattern, watched it twice. Then she ran. Her feet moved quickly. Left, right, jump, roll, pause, move again. The flames shot up behind her but never touched her. She reached the other side in 25 seconds. A new record. A cheer rose from the stands. Even those who feared her were impressed. But the test wasn't over. The third gate opened. A wall of puzzles and moving traps stood before her. Lasers, swinging blades, and shifting platforms. If she hesitated, she'd fall. Zrak held his breath. Rin didn't. She moved like water. Fast, smooth, quiet. Her body bent, twisted, ducked, jumped. Her eyes never blinked. Her steps never stopped. She made it to the top, hit the signal button. The trial ended. Silence for a moment. Then, an explosion of sound. Students stood and clapped. Even some professors nodded with respect. She didn't smile. She just walked down the stairs calmly like it was nothing special. Zrak met her at the bottom. "That was insane," he said. "You beat every part, and you didn't even look tired." "It was fun," she said, wiping a bit of dust from her sleeve. "Fun?" Zrak laughed. "You know what that test proves, right?" "What?" "You're not just strong. You're smarter, faster, calmer than most of the galaxy." Rin shrugged. "Earth makes you that way." Later that night, the video of her trial played on a million screens. Students watched it again and again. Some said she was a super soldier. Others said she was trained in secret. A few believed she was just what humans were now. But the most shared quote came from a quiet alien who watched the trial from the upper seats. He said, "She moved like a shadow. She waited like a hunter. She never rushed, never panicked. That's not just skill, that's instinct, that's survival, that's human." In the staff chamber, a group of teachers sat together. "She's too dangerous," one said. "She followed every rule," said another. "She's only a child. What happens when she grows up?" They had no answers. All they knew now was that the girl from Earth wasn't a joke or a mistake or a weak little creature. She was something else entirely. And tomorrow, the galaxy would start asking a bigger question. If that's just one human, how many more are like her? After the trial, everything changed. Rin was no longer just the human girl from Earth. Now she was the one who passed the arena without a scratch. Even students who once laughed at her now watched her in silence. Some stared. Some whispered. A few even started copying her, walking quietly, watching closely, speaking less. Zrak stayed close to her. He didn't understand everything about her, but he wanted to. She didn't talk much about Earth, but when she did, Zrak listened like every word mattered. One evening, as the two sat by the glowing lake near the edge of campus, Zrak asked a question that had been bothering him. "Why did you even come here, Rin? Earth sounds like the toughest place in the galaxy. What can this school teach you?" Rin tossed a small rock into the water. It skipped 3 times. "I didn't come to learn what the galaxy knows," she said. "I came to see what it doesn't know." Zrak blinked. "What does that mean?" She turned to him. "It means I want to understand how you all survived in such easy places and still became so weak." Zrak looked down, a little embarrassed. But she didn't say it to hurt him. She was serious. "But maybe not everyone here is weak," she added. "Some of you just don't know how strong you could be." While Rin became more famous, trouble was growing elsewhere. In the dark, outer system of Varnax, a group of alien mercenaries met in secret. They had seen the video of Rin's trial. They didn't clap. They didn't cheer. They worried. "If humans can do that at age 16, one growled, "what will they be at 25? Or 30, said another. "We must study them. We must test them before they rise too far." The leader, a tall shadow-like creature named Vorin, gave the order. "Bring me the girl, alive." Back on Zeltron, a new class had started, Galactic Diplomacy. It was meant to teach students how to speak for their planets, how to solve problems without war. The teacher, a smooth-talking alien from Nebulon 3, smiled as he introduced a new group project. "You'll all form small teams. One student must act as your world representative. You'll face a simulation. Pirates attacking a trade station. You must save the station without starting a war. Pick your leader wisely. Everyone looked at Rin, but she shook her head. I don't lead, she said. Zarak whispered. You kind of do, though. In the end, the group voted her in. The next day, they entered the simulation room. The walls turned dark, then lit up with stars. A space station floated in front of them, blinking lights, small ships around it. The screen showed an enemy force approaching, pirate vessels. The mission had begun. Most students panicked, shouting over each other. Rin said nothing. She walked to the controls. Don't fire, she said. Lock their weapons, then open a channel. The others stared. You want to talk to them? She nodded. Most pirates attack because they think no one's watching. She opened a message. This is Earth Representative Ren. Our weapons are ready. Our eyes are open. You have 30 seconds to turn away. After that, we end this. The pirates paused. 20 seconds passed. Then, they left. Simulation complete. Score, 98%. The professor stared at the screen. That might be the highest score in school history. Rin stepped back. No one had to get hurt, she said. Zarak smiled wide. That's Earth's other secret, isn't it? What? You don't just know how to survive. You know when not to fight. That night, as Rin walked back to her dorm, something felt wrong. The air was too still, the shadows too quiet. Then she saw the flash, too fast for most eyes to notice. But Rin noticed. She ducked, rolled. A needle dart flew past her head and stuck into the wall behind. She moved again, grabbed a pipe, slammed it into something invisible. A loud screech echoed through the hallway. The cloaking device dropped. A tall alien in dark armor fell to the ground, gasping. Rin hit a switch on the wall. Alarm lights flashed. More attackers came. 3 of them faster now. Rin didn't run. She moved like lightning. Fist, elbow, knee, twist, step, strike. 2 dropped. 1 grabbed her from behind, but she flipped him over her shoulder, knocking him unconscious. Guards finally arrived. The attackers were taken away in chains. Their armor had the Varnax mark, mercenaries known for stealing tech and targeting young leaders. 1 guard looked at her in shock. They were sent to abduct you. Rin looked at the bodies, calm as ever. Tell whoever sent them, she said. Next time, bring more. The dean of the university watched the full security. Footage later, he turned to his staff. This is worse than we thought. A professor asked, You mean the attack? The dean shook his head. No, I mean what she did. No panic. No backup. No weapons. She took down 4 trained hunters, like it was just another school day. They all sat in silence. Earth, the dean whispered. What kind of place creates people like this? No one had an answer. But far away, on a secret channel, a message was sent to the center of the Galactic Council. The human girl is real, and she is far more dangerous than we expected. The Council's reply came in 1 line. Then she must be watched. Always. But the galaxy didn't know one thing yet. Rin already knew they were watching, and she had a plan of her own. The next morning, Rin acted like nothing happened. She came to class, sat in her usual spot, took notes, and left when the bell rang. But everyone around her had changed. They stared. They whispered more than ever. Not just because of the trial. Not just because of the arena, but because of the attack. It wasn't a rumor. It wasn't a simulation. 4 real mercenaries came to take her, and she beat them alone. Some students started walking a little straighter, hoping to look tougher. Others began copying Earth's basic self-defense movements, which Rin had once shown Zarak behind the dorms. Even the professors seemed nervous now. They didn't joke. They didn't raise their voices. They treated her like she was a visiting general. But Rin didn't want that. She wasn't trying to scare anyone. She just wanted to learn. Zarak walked with her down the quiet hall toward their next class. Do you think they'll try again? He asked. They will, Rin said. Next time they'll be smarter. Zrak shivered. What will you do? She looked at him. What I always do. Pay attention, stay calm, be ready. They entered a new classroom, Advanced Alien Psychology. It was taught by Professor Norin, a very old and clever alien who used to work with the Galactic Defense Unit. The classroom lights dimmed, and a large screen turned on. Dozens of alien species appeared, each with different minds, different emotions, different ways to think. Professor Norin smiled. To win a fight, sometimes you don't need strength or speed. Sometimes you only need to understand the enemy's fear. Rin sat up straighter. Zrak leaned close. You like this stuff, huh? Rin nodded. Fear is like a door. Once you know how to open it, you can walk right through someone. After class, Professor Norin asked Rin to stay behind. She did. He didn't smile. He didn't try to act friendly. I know who sent those mercenaries, he said. Rin looked at him. Who? An old enemy, he said. They want a test. Earth's next generation. You are not the first, but you're the first they couldn't take. Rin was silent. You need to be careful, Norin said. They will study you. They will study your planet. If they learn too much, they won't. Rin interrupted. They don't understand what Earth really is, what humans really are. The professor looked at her for a long time. Then, he said, maybe they don't. But I do. I've met your kind in war. I've seen what happens when humans fight for real. Rin tilted her head. And what happens? Norin didn't answer right away. Then he said quietly, everything burns. That night, Rin received a secret message, no name, no ID, just a black screen and a robotic voice. You are being watched. The test is not over. If you survive the next phase, you may speak with the architect. The message vanished. Rin sat in silence. Zrak knocked on her door a few minutes later. You okay? She opened the door. I need your help, she said. Anything, he replied. I need eyes everywhere. I need to know who's watching me and who they answer to. Zrak looked scared. That's big. Really big. I know. And dangerous. I know that too. He took a deep breath. Okay, let's do it. Over the next few days, Rin and Zrak began a quiet investigation. Zrak used his access as a tech assistant in the comms lab. He found logs, backdoor transmissions, even drone paths that didn't belong to the university. Rin observed student movements. She noticed who stayed near her, who avoided her, and who looked at her too long. They found something strange. A fake student ID, one that didn't belong to any real person. That student had been seen near the arena, near the trial hall, and even near Rin's dorm just before the mercenary attack. Rin tracked the ID chip to a small maintenance room in the east wing. She and Zrak entered at night. The room looked normal until Rin pulled back a wall panel. Inside was a small surveillance system, a camera, a transmitter, a hidden microphone, and a logo on the back of the device, a triangle inside a red circle. Zrak gasped. That's not school tech, that's Karnak Syndicate. They work with warlords, slavers, even black market scientists. Rin stared at the logo for a long time. They're not here for me, she said. They're here for Earth. The next day, a school ship arrived from another academy. It carried exchange students, supposedly here for a science project. But Rin didn't believe that. She watched as 5 of them entered the university gates. All looked different. Different species, different clothes, different sizes. But all moved the same, eyes scanning, steps too careful, no mistakes. Trained, as Zrak whispered, You think they're spies? I think they're here for the real test, Rin said. The trap had been set. But what the enemy didn't know was that Rin had already set her own, and it was almost ready. The new students blended in well. Too well. They smiled. They asked questions. They joined clubs and sat in the cafeteria like everyone else. But Rin watched closely. She saw it in the small things. One of them never blinked. Another never ate. The tallest one always walked with his right hand near his belt, Exactly. Where a hidden weapon would sit, Rin didn't confront them. Not yet. Instead, she made them believe she wasn't watching. She let them think they had fooled her. But her plan had already begun. Zarak was busy too. He tapped into security feeds from old sections of the school, places no one used anymore. Empty. Labs, silent tunnels, storage rooms. He found movement. "We got a problem," he told Rin one night. "They've built a hidden base below the library." "What kind?" Rin asked. "A real one. With power. Comms, surveillance, maybe weapons." "Then they're not here to watch me," she said. "They're preparing for something bigger." Zrak's voice shook. "Like what?" Rin answered coldly. "An invasion." The next day, Rin acted normal. She went to class. She joined a study group. She even smiled once. But in her mind, every second was part of a countdown. That evening, she walked into the forest near the edge of campus, where no security drones flew and no cameras recorded. She waited under a large tree. A few minutes later, the tallest of the new students appeared. He didn't speak at first, just stood there. Then he said, "You knew." "Yes." "From the start?" "From the moment you stepped out of the ship." He nodded slowly. "We underestimated you. They told us humans were strong, smart, dangerous, but you are different. You're here for Earth, aren't you?" Rin said. "Not just for me." He didn't answer. So she asked again, "Why now?" He looked around, as if someone might be listening. Then he leaned closer. "Because the galaxy is scared. Earth is growing fast, stronger every year. You survive everything. You learn too fast. Your kind was left alone for too long, and now we're too late." Rin's eyes narrowed. "So they want to stop us before we rise." He nodded. "You are the warning sign, the red flag. Then why talk to me now?" He paused. "Because we're not all on the same side. Some of us want to control your kind. Others want to work with you." Rin didn't trust him, but she listened. "Who do you serve?" she asked. "The architect," he said quietly. She stepped back. That name again. Zrak had heard it. The professors had whispered it. And now this man, this spy, spoke it like a prayer. "Who is the architect?" she asked. But he only said, "If you survive tomorrow, you'll meet him." That night, Zrak showed her a secret message. It was hidden inside a school announcement about a special simulation. All first-year students were invited to a large virtual test in the arena, but it wasn't real. The code hidden in the text revealed the truth. They planned to trap her there, and this time, they wouldn't just test her. They would try to eliminate her. Rin stared at the message. She didn't blink, didn't speak. Zrak said, "We can run. There's a transport ship leaving in the morning. We could disappear." But Rin shook her head. "No," she said. "If we run, they'll just follow. If I leave now, they'll just target the next human." Zrak's voice cracked. "Then what do we do?" Rin stood up. "We finish it." The next morning, the arena filled with students again. Most came for the simulation. They thought it would be like last time, games, puzzles, tests of skill. But this time was different. Rin stood alone in the center. No puzzles, no countdown, just silence. Then the sky turned black. A ship uncloaked above the arena, small, fast, armed. Gas hissed from the corners. Drones dropped down with glowing red eyes. Students screamed. Guards tried to stop them, but the ship fired a signal. The guards froze, disabled. The real attack had begun. But Rin didn't run. She reached into her bag and pulled out something Zrak had built, an EMP bomb. Small, silent, powerful. She threw it high into the air and covered her ears. Boom. Every drone dropped dead in seconds. The skyship shook. Its lights blinked out. The crowd gasped, and from the shadows, the students stepped forward, no longer pretending. They wore armor now. They pulled weapons from under their fake clothes, and they walked toward Rin. Time to end this, said. The room was not on any map. No signs, no doors. It only opened once Rin passed the final test. Zrak walked with her to the edge of the secret lift. Are you sure? He asked. She nodded. They've been watching me. Now it's time I watched them. The floor opened beneath her. She dropped down in silence, no sound, no light, just a long fall through cold air. Then she landed. The light returned slowly, soft, white, silent. She stood inside a round chamber, and in the center of it stood the architect, not a person, not a machine, but something in between. A figure made of light and metal, tall and still. Its voice was smooth but deep, echoing without emotion. Human girl, it said. Rin of Earth, we have waited for you. She looked up. What are you? I am the first, it said. The one who built the first city of stars. I created the system that watches, teaches, and selects. I designed the trials, the arena, the tests. Why me? She asked. Because you were never supposed to survive them. But you did, said nothing. You are different, the architect continued. Earth is different. Your people should not exist. Why? She asked. Because Earth breaks all the rules. Your world is not kind. It is not gentle. It burns. It freezes. It crushes the weak. And yet, it created you. Rin stepped forward. So now what? You test us. You spy on us. You send enemies to stop us. The architect's light flickered, slightly. I did not send them to destroy you. I sent them to reveal you. Rin's eyes narrowed. So the attacks were part of your plan? In part. But others interfered. The Syndicate, the Warlords, the Silent Watchers. They fear you. Maybe they should. The architect tilted its head. Your world is a death world, and you are proof that death worlds create something terrible. Something powerful, something new. Are you afraid too? She asked. I do not fear, it said. I calculate, and I calculate this. Earth will change the galaxy, and you will be the key. Rin didn't look proud. She looked ready. What happens now? She asked. The architect paused. You will return, but nothing will be the same. The council will come. They will offer peace with one hand and poison with the other. Your people must choose carefully. And if they choose wrong, the architect replied, then the galaxy will burn. Rin returned the same way she came, through silence, through shadow. When she stepped back onto campus ground, Zrak was waiting. What happened? He asked. I met the architect. What did it say? Rin looked up at the stars. It said Earth is the future. The news spread fast. The fake students were gone. The ship was traced back to the Karnak Syndicate. The university tried to cover it up, but everyone knew the truth. Someone tried to kill Rin and failed. A meeting was called. The Galactic Council sent a message. Earth will be discussed. Rin received an official request to speak as a young ambassador for her planet. Not a soldier, not a student, but a voice. She met with the Earth students who helped her in the arena. You don't have to follow me, she told them, but they did. One stepped forward. We came here to learn, but they taught us something else. They taught us we are a threat, another said. They taught us we don't belong. No, Rin said. They taught us we're not afraid. 1 week later, Rin stood inside the Galactic Council chamber. 1,000,000 eyes watched from across the galaxy. Ambassadors, generals, scholars, spies, and hidden among them, more enemies. But Rin wasn't alone. She stood with 10 other Earthborn students behind her, and she spoke clearly, calmly, slowly. You asked if Earth is dangerous, she said. The answer is yes. The room shifted. But not because we want war, not because we are cruel. Earth is dangerous because we don't give up, because we learn, because when you put us through hell, we come out stronger. One ambassador shouted, "You threaten the balance of peace." Rin looked at him. "You only call it peace because you're the one sitting high. Earth was left in the dark. We clawed our way up. And now that we're here, you call us a problem?" Another asked, "And what do you want?" Rin smiled. "We want a seat at the table. We want a voice in the future, or we'll build our own table." The council fell silent. Then one of the older members stood, an alien with silver skin and 3 eyes. "I was there," she said, "when the first human ship entered orbit around my world. They saved our children from a solar storm while your council did nothing. I vote yes," she added. "Earth belongs here." Then another stood, and another. Votes came in. Not all said yes, but enough. Rin was given the Earth banner. She had become more than a student, more than a survivor. She was now the first human voice in the stars. Later, alone under the stars, Zrak found her again. "You did it," he said. "No," Rin said. "We did." He sat beside her. "So what happens next?" She looked far beyond, the sky to where the architect waited and where others still watched. "Next," she said, "we build something better, and if they try to stop us..." She stood up. "They'll learn the first rule of Earth." Zrak smiled. "What's that?" Rin turned, eyes calm and dangerous. "Don't poke the death world." And the stars watched quietly, because they knew now. Earth had arrived, and nothing would ever be the same again.